Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, because me, along with my team, we have been doing some research about Brazil that we think it might be a good country for us to start business, to incorporate our company in there, to start expanding our brand and start doing some international business. Alright, as you guys can see, this is the Brazilian map, where we should start focusing on should be São Paulo, down south. São Paulo is like the biggest city in Brazil, economically wise. Rio is pretty big too, but just when we talk about tourism, so São Paulo to Brazil, we can compare it to New York compared to the US. So it's a huge city for us to start our business, and it might be easier to reach new customers. To start business in an international country, we did some research, and since we succeed already in the US, it's not the same thing as, of course it's not the same thing here that is in Brazil, because we have some cultural differences between our country and Brazil, so we gotta do some study on that, so we are not surprised as we walk in. And we also need to be used to the cultural differences, so we don't approach them in a wrong way, so it might be easier to be profitable and succeed. Some cross-cultural analysis. As you guys can see right now, this is the motto of Professor Gert Hofstede. It compares like the levels between the United States and Brazil. The first one is Power Distance Index, which says like the difference between how the money is divided into the country. So as you guys can see, Brazil is higher, so that basically means that it's not that well distributed between the population. Individualism, that might be like the main issue. Our country is a lot more individualistic than Brazil. Brazilian people is like, they are really collectivist, so they do care about each other more than we do. So it's not only about like, oh, I need to make my own money. So we gotta be worried about that. That's probably the main concern. Masculinity levels are pretty much the same. So how can I say that? It's like both countries are really masculine. Uncertainty avoidance index. Brazil has a bigger number, as according to Hofstede, they are not as risk takers as we in America are. So we can go there and show something that it's not gonna be complete. It can bring some doubts for them, because they are not gonna be able to take those risks. And also long-term orientation, that Brazil has a way bigger number than we are, so they plan things better. They think in a long term, so we also need to work around that. Some main things is like, in Brazil is way easier than here. It's like not that many rules. It's a really loose culture. To implement our company in there, we might not find a lot of issues. The government also looks for that the competition that we're gonna bring to the company can't be unfair. So we gotta make sure of that. But also according to the research, Brazil's developing really fast. It's considered now an emerging country. So it might be really good that we bring our company there so we can grow up along with the country. And it might be an economy power. It might be a really important country in like some years. So it might be good if our company can catch up with that. Also, what I could notice is like if you compare Brazil to South America, it's pretty similar to here, the United States, compared to North America. Brazil leads South America. It's like the main country there. They have a lot of like natural resources that they just right now that they're finding how they can work on that and be profitable out of that. They take us as a model, so that might be good for us. It might be easier to get into the country. Also, we need to do the studies to find out who our competitors are. Not only from here, but what kind of competition we are gonna find there. The currency there is still weaker than ours, so it might be cheaper, but we gotta make sure that we have employees working that they are native Brazilians. Just because they are used to the culture already, and it might be easier for them to approach the customers than us just bringing Americans to work in there. Of course, we need to have some so they can incorporate our brand's value in there, but we gotta make sure that we have a lot of Brazilians. That might also be a plus with the government, so we are generating new jobs in there. Also, another thing is that we gotta make sure that our brain is gonna get strong in there. We can't work just on like having good products, but we gotta advertise it well, because Brazilians still watch a lot of TV. Internet is huge there, but Brazilians are a lot critic about what they see, what they're gonna buy. It's not a first world country like we are, so they don't have that much money to go and spend. Like I said before, they're not that risk takers. So we gotta work well on advertising, which is huge there. So it can help. It's like the main thing, the way we are gonna communicate with those customers. So after this research, I really hope all of you guys like the idea of going to Brazil. It's a really beautiful country. A lot of like natural resources. Rio is just amazing. A lot of beaches in there. Economically wise, it's just increasing, and like now we can see Brazil all over the news. And I think we should rather implement our company in a country that is emerging, that is getting bigger. So we take a ride with this ground, then go to a country that is already established, that already have their own companies that are in there, that are pretty big. But our goal is to be part of this increase, be part of this like new time in the Brazilian history. And for our company as well, we need to increase in approaching international countries. Might be a lot better for us. Alright, so that's pretty much it, and this is the background that I provide for you guys about Brazil. I hope you guys like it, and you guys have a good day. Thank you.